talk about names. My initial idea was Gringlish. What did you say was wrong with it?
I said it's a bit poppy, like pop culture, like haha. Like it can be more clever. It has to be clever. Like people have to realize why we called ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some English Greek history.
Okay.
What's the name of the of the British military base in Greece?
What the fuck? What are you trying to say, Byron?
Greek
How am I supposed to do this?
and English. And no, England, not Britain. England.
I'm just gonna actually film you.
Fantastic.
Romans invaded both.
Oh, okay. What? Cat Stevens is Greek.
Who's that?
Peter Andre?
Peter Andre. We call our collective Peter Andre.
Prince Philip is Greek. George Michael.
Oh, we should so call ourselves Prince Philip. The
George
Prince
Michael's-
Philip Collective.
Right.
The Prince Philip Collective.
Mycenaean Greeks in Great Britain.
That's really nice.
Who the fuck did you point out while we were at the ATM? Because it was the most awkward moment of my life.
James.
Oh my god, why did you do that?
It was so awkward.
Oh.
Very
That's
good.
good. It's vegan.
How did you make that?
Is it?
Yeah. Completely vegan.
Fuck me. What's in there?
Chickpeas. I don't know if you can tell. Onions.
Surprise!
I can't remember what's in there. Garlic.
Tomato.
Yes. Tin tomatoes. Ginger.
God, it's good. You obviously you cooked it for a really good amount of time because it has that like caramelized taste. Did you know the first known Greek to come to Britain was Pythias, and he reported his name as Britannia.
What's that?
He reported Britain's name as Britannia, not Britain.
Britannia.
Tanya.
What? He reported the name as Britannia, which became Britannia. It is assumed that its Hellenized version was under many Greeks arrived with the Roman leaders and traders.
So why did he call it that?
Because that's a cool fucking name.
Britannia. Can you see that catching on though? How do you spell it?
Britannia.
Britannia. The Britannia Collective.
The term Britain is a linguistic descendant of one of the oldest known names for Britain.
Oh, I opened up coconut milk.
That'll be alright.
I left mine in the fridge for a day and it was fine.
Open.
Mm.
Read it out.
The terms Britain or British, similarly derived, refer to the inhabitants and are referring extendants, the smaller islands in the vicinity. British Isles was the only ancient name for these islands to survive in general usage. Its first written appearance was by Pythias, the Greek, of Massalia in the 4th century. It originates with a group of Peace Atlantic speakers resident of Great Britain who were referred to and perhaps referred to themselves by the earliest known form of the term British. Britain comes from the Latin Britannia via Old Britannia, The earliest known written reference to the British Isles derived from the works of the Greek explorer. Later Greek writers such as Diodorus of Sicily, Strabeo, who wrote Pathesis, used variants such as Britannica, the Britannic or Britannic Islands,
How does it relate to us though?
because it's the first known word for Britain. Britain as a word comes from a Greek explorer, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. 19th century to present,
What are you looking up?
just Greek and England, Greece and English. Oh.
I want to have something where you can just say it and people will get it though. I think if they're like, oh, what's your name? You say Britannia. They'll be like, wait, what? Sorry.
I thought we're not supposed to be literal.
Yeah, but I want something catchy.
But that it can be like Britannia can get really clever
How?
because it's like I'm just saying pretentious. Pretentious. I think it needs to be clever though. It can't be like catchy. That's the thing. It can be catchy, but it has to be clever catchy.
Yeah.
Maybe. One second. Trying to find something interesting. Confusion. What? 16,000 Greek students attended UK universities in 2006. The fourth most common country of overseas students in England.
Really?
And after China, India, and Ireland, and Greece's population is like a zillionth less than all of those
Yeah.
places. It's really crazy. Duchess of Kent. Who's Princess Marina? Anybody?
No.
Who?
Princess
Princess
Marina.
Marina, Duchess of Kent.
No idea.
Greek-British relations. They were allies in the First World War and the Second, but also Greece received military assistance from the United Kingdom during the Greek War of Independence. Both countries currently maintain relations via the British Embassy. Maintain excellent bilateral relations with the British Prime Minister David Cameron.
David Cameron.
It's interesting because the Greek War of Independence, when England like supported them with arms and stuff, was communist against capitalists.
Oh really?
And the English, because half the Greeks were capitalists and half the Greeks were commies, and they different parts were funding each side. Like if the USA was funding, they'd fund the Greeks and they'd fund the communists and the capitalists, so that they'd kill each other instead of other people having to invade Greece and kill other people for them. So it was brother against brother, in other words. The Greeks just killing Greeks.
Wasn't there a story about a mother who lost her? Wait, what was this in? She lost both her sons, but one was fighting for one side and one was fighting for the other. Was it Greek?
I think so, I don't know. We'll look it up. When the Greek king Otto was disposed of by the Greeks in 1862, Queen Victoria's son, Alfred, Duke of Saxenburg and Gotha, was chosen to succeed him. Wait, who is it? However, the British government would not allow this. The current British monarch, Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom's husband, Prince William, is the grandson, I should call herself just Prince Philip, of Otto, eventual successor George I of Greece.
Yeah, can we just be called the
No.
Prince Philip Collective? It's such a
That's
cool name.
crazy.
What?
That Otto, the king of Greece, is Philip's grandfather.
Wow.
Why is she married to a Greek in the first place?
Royal family. All the royals married royals.
That's true. Great Britain wrestled over the Ionian Islands from Napoleonic France in 1815. As the United States of the Ionian Islands, they remained under British control even after Greek independence, partly because Greece's first king caused concern in London. Britain responded to calls by transferring the islands to the Greeks. What's Attache in Athens? Attache in Athens. There's something called Conference of Hydra, and it was a 2000 conference in 2000, a conference to further boost relations between Britain and France.
Britain, Greece.
Yeah, sorry. Wow. Greece has an embassy in London and consulates in Belfast, Birmingham, Edinburgh, Gibraltar, Glasgow, and Leeds. Yeah, but Greece, England has it in Athens, Thessaloniki, Badra, Crete, Corfu, Rhodes, Thessaloniki, and Zakynthos. Cultural exchange. There are between 40 to 45,000 Greeks residing permanently in the UK, and the Greek Orthodox Church has a strong presence in the Assembly of Great Britain. The British cultural presence in Greece is promoted mainly through the British Council. There's a significant Greek presence of Greek students in tertiary education in the UK, a large Cypriot community, around 250 to 300,000. Rallies around the National Federation of Cypriots in Great Britain and the Association of Greek Orthodox Communities of Great Britain. There are some 20 Greek cultural, philanthropic, and professional organizations. There are 7 chairs of Greek and Byzantium studies at the University of Cambridge, Oxford, East Anglia, Royal Holloway, Birmingham, King's College, London School of Economics, and 2 Greek study centres at the University of Bristol and Reading. The source of tension between the UK and Greece is the dispute over the ownership of the Aeolian marbles. You know that they stole them from the past.
Oh, yeah.
We could be called that.
What?
Algin.
Algean.
Algin. E-L-G-I-N.
Algean.
Algin, like it's not Ian. It's gin, like gin, the drink. Algin.
G-I-N. Oh, yeah, Elgin.
Algin marbles, a collection of classical Greek marble sculptures, inscriptions, and architectural pieces that originally were part of the Temple of Parthenon and other buildings of the Acropolis. Thomas Bruce, the 7th Earl of Elgin, it's an English place, removed the marbles between 1801 and 1812 and transported them by sea to Britain. In Britain, the acquisition of the collection was supported by some, while others likened Elgin's actions to vandalism or looting. The marbles are currently held in the collection in the British Museum. After gaining its independence from the Ottoman Empire, Greece began major projects for restoration of the country's monuments and have expressed its disapproval of Elgin's actions to remove the marbles from the Acropolis and the Parthenon, which is regarded as one of the world's greatest cultural monuments. Despite the subsequent purchase of the marbles by the British government, they bought them. The urges the return of the marbles to Greece. The dispute is ongoing, and in 2004, UNICEF agreed to mediate between Greece and the United Kingdom in resolving the dispute of the Elgin marbles. I wonder why they're called by their English stealing man's
Yeah.
name. But I guess because it's a collection, otherwise they'll have a load of stuff. We could just be called Anglo-Hellenic.
Anglo-Hellenic.
The Anglo-Hellenic League is an organization supporting and promoting Anglo-Greek relations and understanding. It was founded in 1913 in London, and it carries out charitable and cultural work. publishes the biannual Anglo-Hellenic Preview. It is a member society of the Hellenic Centre, and since the 1990s is the House of the Hellenic Centre in London. Greek War of Independence.
I don't know what those brothers were.
Revolution was a successful war of independence waged by the Greek revolutionaries between 1812 and 1832 against the Ottoman Empire. The Greeks were assisted by the Russian Empire, Great Britain, France, and several other European powers. I like the Algerian marbles.
We were called Elgin Marble Collective. Or just Elgin. But then it makes the Brits look like the bad guy. It's a good cop, bad cop. And the
I
bad
think
one.
but it's just a comment on power, really.
I think it needs to be a bit more personal. Look at the statue.
British Museum. Quote. The Algerian marble is a Gothic term that is its widest use may refer to the collection of stone objects, sculptures, inscriptions, and architectural features acquired by Lord Elgin during his time as ambassador to the Ottoman court in the Sultanate of Istanbul. More specifically, and more usually, it is used to refer to these sculptures, inscriptions, and article features that he acquired in Athens between 1801 and 1805. These objects were purchased by the British government from Lord Elgin in 1816 and presented by Parliament to the British Museum. The collection includes sculptures from the Parthenon, roughly half of what now survives, 247 feet of the original 527-foot frieze, 15 out of the 94 metopias, 17 figures from the pediments, and various other pieces of architecture. It also includes objects from other buildings, the necropolis, the Enritzia, the Popolia, and the Temple of Athena Nike. You know that Nike comes from the Greek word victory. And the statue of her is the Nike tip.
Yeah.
To do a piece on that as our beginning piece. In the 19th century, the term Algerian marbles was used to describe the collection which was housed in the Algerian Room of the British Museum. Material from the Parthenon was dispersed both before and after Elgin's time. The remainder of the surviving sculptures that are not in Athens are in museums in various locations across Europe. The British Museum also has other fragments of the Parthenon acquired from the collection that have no connection with Lord Elgin. What are they trying to say by this thing? There's a horse's head.
Is there a significant date at all?
Between us.
Like between the Britain Greeks? Like anything significant happen?
Well, I guess this could be quite significant.
What, the marbles?
1860.
Wasn't it 1801?
No, that's when he acquired them from 1801 to 1805. The British government paid for them in 1860.
1816.
Stephen Fry made a comment about them. Should we go?
Yeah, just give us some time. Are we walking or walk past?
Walking.
Because we're cheap. um,
Say bye.
Oh.